In this video, I'm going to be comparing the Voloom Rootie and the Voloom Petite. I'm going to be doing the right side of my head with the Rootie, and I'm going to be doing the left side of my head with the Petite so you can see the difference. First things first, a really quick tour. Both of these go all the way up to 395 degrees, although I do recommend actually crimping your hair a little bit lower and using some heat protectant spray just to be on the safe side. Also, the plates are the main two differences on these. Notice that the Voloom Petite has about a 1-inch thick plate. The Voloom Rootie has about a 3/4 inch plate, but the actual textures, the actual knobs there are exactly the same size. So this is going to produce a similar texture. So what's the main difference you're asking? You're about to see. And by the way, we're also going to do a little bit before and after because these are really effective and I have very fine hair. First things first, we're going to use these clips that came with the Volooms to actually separate out the hair and get closer to the root. Okay, so first we're going to do the Rootie on the right side. The Rootie is actually designed for people with slightly shorter hair, and it's also meant to be used closer to the actual root itself, so it doesn't create like that big bulky appearance if you're worried about that sort of thing. Although honestly, I don't think any of the Voloom products are overkill, and they're pretty easy to control. As you can see, that's the texture that the Rootie creates. And on the other side, we're going to use the Petite the way it was designed to be used. We're actually going to create more of like a lengthy texture. So I'm going to not only get the root on this side, but I'm also going to go down just a little bit. And usually I do like 2 or 3 crimps when I use the Petite. Again, we're going to take the Voloom Rootie and we're going to mostly stick to the closest we can, at least, to the actual roots. One other benefit, by the way, with the Rootie is that it is a little more travel friendly because it is just a little bit smaller than the Petite. So I often throw this one in my suitcase. And then we're going to do the Petite on this side. Again, notice I'm getting close to the root, but I'm also doing a couple extra crimps down. Again, on the right hand side, I'm just going to go right under here. You always want to do the layer right under the top layer, getting really close to the root. And then we're going to do the same thing for the left. I'm also going to do just a couple of extra crimps down. Okay, and this is the finished product. Remember, I used the Rootie on the right-hand side and I used the Petite on the left-hand side. As you can see, both of them produced a very similar result. Maybe the Rootie producing a slightly more natural result. I'm not really sure. Honestly, this is kind of a toss-up, y'all. I really think this is basically the same product. Let's take a really quick peek at the before and the after. As you can tell, that is a major difference, which is why I am such a big fan of Voloom products. Not to mention the fact this actually does hold up pretty much all day. All in all, 5 stars, highly impressed. As always, thanks Voloom.